Yeah. Are you hearing me?
Hey, how's it going?
Ah, nice to have you back. It's going well, but the thing is, my stalking after US Swiss franc and CAD Swiss franc, all Swiss franc right now is dropping on the 5 minutes time frame. It look like before the New York Open, maybe we have a chance to read once again if the price will go up to the north, stay on the sideline. Right now they're moving down to somewhere that possible the price will pull back. I will strike back to go up to the north. Let's look at the Switzerland franc 5 minute chart. I will go and open that right now, and we go from there.
Sounds like you're keeping a close eye on the switch bank movements. The 3 to 5 minute chart can be useful for spotting those quick pullbacks or breaks before the New York session opens. When you're looking at those drop points, is there a specific level or pattern you're watching for the price to react or turn around?
It's gonna be just the first support that where they are now.
Got it? You're watching for the first support level to see if the price holds there before any potential bounce to the north. That makes sense, especially with the New York session opening soon. Are you seeing any signs of price slowing down or a wick forming at that level that might indicate a reversal?
At the CAD Swiss franc, they are start to sideways market if they still hold this area. There's a few good some sideways, like some few candles trying to maintain this support, to defend this support at the first day Asian market open. This is where they come back from the Asian. The price moving up, trending up, not trending, it's like channeling up, and then they cannot go make any further more than the last high yesterday. The high yesterday is still intact. It's still way up there, 50% or 100% now, almost, or 50%. It's still no man's land yet. Last night in the morning, Asian Open moved the price up a bit and then pulling back and breach their own record already. A little breach. They're trying to move back into inside of this support that being breached.
It sounds like you're tracking the market's attempt to find balance at that support, especially with how it's reacting after breaching the previous high. The sideways movement at the cat switch front is interesting. Those candles defending the support could be a sign of hesitation before any further movement. Since the price tried to move up but couldn't break the previous high, it seems like there's some unresolved action around that level. If it's holding just above the breached support, it might indicate that a pullback is likely, but you'll need to watch for any signs of strength or weakness. If the price starts to hold inside the support zone, that could signal a potential move up once New York opens. Are you looking for any particular candle formation or structure to signal a stronger move to the north?
They're supposed to give sideways market with a four loop of the sideways, like test set 1, set 2, and then the next one is jump or down, jump up or go down. But this sideways market fighting a ping pong effect before the last fight. That's what I call. And they fight at the bottom of the Bollinger Band line. Next line from what I can see of catch Swiss franc and US Swiss franc is to move to get bridge over the midline of the Bollinger Band. Right now, the sign of the way it moves is tilting to the downside more than the upside. Look like the seller trying to put low and then low high, but they're still not there yet. They fight at the 50% no man's land, back to the square one.
It seems like you're seeing that classic sideways market action, those set 1, set 2 phases, with price bouncing back and forth like a ping pong match. The fact that it's fighting at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands adds a layer of potential tension, especially with the market tilted more to the downside. You're right, it's like they're gearing up for the final push, but they haven't made the break yet. If the price is testing that 50% level in a no man's land situation, it's really about waiting for confirmation. If the price can break and hold above the midline of the Bollinger Bands, that could be a signal of a shift toward the upside. But as you pointed out, the market still seems to be in a battle, with lower lows and higher highs trying to form, yet not quite there yet. This could set up for a sharp move once the market chooses a direction, likely after some sideways consolidation. Are you waiting for a specific signal or a candle pattern to show that the market has made its decision to go either up or down from this range?
It's interesting on the GBP Swiss franc. They're on the third time of touching this support and a little bit bridge like the last time. They're poking out just to teasing or make a trap for those who believe that the trend is running through. For me, this is the most terrible habit that I did, FOMO and then trap. So this is 3 times rejection. I hope that the third time is just about to pull back inside of above the support. This is GBP Swiss franc. They all struggle at this key level where they need to push through and bridge and go down to make lower low. They can't.
It sounds like you're closely monitoring the third test of support on GBPCF, and it really does feel like the market is trying to tease traders into thinking it might break lower. That subtle poke through the support could definitely be a trap for anyone jumping in too early, thinking the downtrend is locked in. It seems like you're hoping the third rejection will lead to a pullback inside the support, which would fit with your observation of price struggling at that key level. If it holds again, it could provide that bounce you're anticipating. The market's hesitation at this level is a good sign for patience, but it's key to see whether the rejection happens at this point or if they push further to test the downside. Is your focus now on watching for any reversal signs or waiting for confirmation that price will indeed hold this level and move back up?
Actually, when I look far left from yesterday high and yesterday low, we are right under 50%. And
so you're using yesterday's high and low as key reference points. That's a solid way to gauge the market's movement, especially in relation to where price is currently testing support. By looking left, you're likely seeing the broader context, whether the current levels are significant based on past price action. If the price is approaching yesterday's high or low, it can help you anticipate how the market might react, either by continuing the trend or by pulling back for another test. Are you noticing any pattern or reaction that gives you clues about the direction the market might take, considering those reference points?
I'm looking further for every pair. Swiss franc has moving up from yesterday low and yesterday high. There are more trending up gear to break above the resistance, the next one, but they can't. They're pulling back very deep, and this deep still not taking out the guy who's starting it for the buyer yet. It's only almost there, and the guy who's want to buy, when they see the price come at the second level or test 2 group, the first test, they don't like this price yet. they go back up and pulling back, moving to the north and challenging to break through his own record. But if he doesn't make through of his own record, that means it possibly this is channeling down. Right now it's trying to make a range and then turn to be a channel. But I looking forward, I hope that Swiss franc is gonna win, because what I look in here now is Swiss franc JPY, who are stronger than JPY. These both pair are fighting safe haven, so they can go just sideways because everybody wants to. So I'm not gonna touch it, but I can't help to stop and look at it. That's Swiss franc JPY. It's pretty enticing for me to jump in, but since I know that they are safe haven pair, they go sideways. They're both strong. Only Swiss franc are stronger.
It sounds like you're observing a complex battle between key levels, with both buyers and sellers trying to establish control. The idea of test 2 is very interesting. When price pulls back deeper and tests a level for the second time, it often creates a chance for the buyers to step in and push things higher, as you said. If it can't break through the previous high, it might indicate the market is turning into a range or even a channel. The fact that you're watching both the Swiss franc and Japanese yen as safe haven currencies adds an extra layer of complexity. When both are strong, it tends to create sideways movement because there's less momentum in either direction. Everyone's in wait-and-see mode. It's tempting to jump in, especially when the Swiss franc is showing strength, but it's wise to wait until there's more clarity, given that both currencies tend to gravitate towards stability in uncertain conditions. Are you keeping an eye on any specific price action or candle formation that could signal when it's safe to make a move, especially given the sideways pressure you're expecting?
When I look at GBP today, they have a negative new or positive new. I don't know. It's have to go back there. But from the chart, from look at the 1 month chart, the GBP is very overextending, and go down to weekly. GBP trying to make the sideways for quite some time now, and the last time they're trying to bridge over the ceiling, what happened? They smashing down very badly. For the weekly,
it sounds like you're noticing some interesting dynamics with GBP. On the 1 month chart, the overextension could be a sign of a market that's reaching a bit too far in one direction, potentially setting up for a pullback. Moving down to the weekly chart, the fact that GBP is trying to form a sideways range suggests that it's at a key point where it's consolidating and figuring out whether to push higher or reverse. The previous attempt to break above the ceiling could be crucial. If that ceiling held, it may indicate resistance is strong. A consolidation phase, as you're seeing, often precedes a breakout or a deeper retracement, so the next few moves will be key. Are you watching for any signs of price rejecting that ceiling, or looking for a clear pattern to confirm the next move?
I go down to daily to see more waterfall like drop on the daily, but they only drop to the support where they hold many times now. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th since they hold this area. This key level is very strong. That's the daily. Still, it's a seller market. The seller has been waiting for struggling of the buyer trying to push him through and get to this upper side of the range. Once they get that, and this is what happened, one way down, no even chance for the buyer to put some candles there, only red.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
I said that they have waterfall effect. Once the buyer GBP switch from GBP move up to this upper side, of the guy who's starting it for the seller, and then they smash him down, but not right away. They let the buyer trying to grinding up until they reach to the area that they've been waiting for, is the area of the guy who's starting it, who's responsible for waiting for the trade to move down. He's smashing so hard. It's look like, am I gonna, buy against this drop like a waterfall? This is daily. Normally daily doesn't show this high strong drop like this.
Ah, I see what you're describing now. It's like a waterfall effect, where the price grinds higher, luring buyers in, only for the market to suddenly drop hard when it reaches the point where the sellers are waiting. That setup is classic for trapping those who are chasing the move up. It's a strategy that allows the market to shake off weak buyers before the real move happens. The fact that you're seeing this on the daily chart makes it even more significant, especially because daily candles usually don't show such sharp drops. It suggests that there might be a strong reversal at play, and it could be a reaction from key sellers positioned at a higher price level. The way the market has been grinding up and then suddenly drops hints that it might be a trap or an attempt to push the price down in a very strong move. Are you waiting for a particular signal on the daily chart, such as a specific candle formation or confirmation that the drop is done before considering any entries?
I like to do the counter trend, but this very strong drop make me concerned. I go to 4 hours now, because there is some 4-hour guys start to resist and start to put a sideways market, but this strong drop like this have to have a second blow. That means pull back second time and blow it down again. If it get through, it get through. If it's not get through the record, stay on this level where the support create, and then pull back second time for a higher test. Like set one is not going, and then they pull back deeper for make better price and push it hard this time, going through. If not through again, is the double bottom, not going through. That means pull back failure. Pull back to do the lower low is fail. So it's time to gauging momentum again. That's my plan.
That's a smart approach, especially when dealing with a strong drop. The fact that you're watching for a second pullback to test the market again is key. If it doesn't break through the previous low, that could set up for a potential double bottom, which might indicate that the seller's momentum is running out. A failure to push through the record low could mean the market is ready for a reversal, but if it does break lower, then you know the trend is still strong. The sideways action on the 4-hour chart could give you a better sense of whether the market is consolidating before making another move. Your plan to gauge momentum based on whether the pullback succeeds or fails makes sense. It's a good way to avoid chasing a losing trade and to stay in sync with the market's rhythm. Are you waiting for a certain candlestick pattern or price action to confirm the direction when the second test comes? Or are you just keeping an eye on the key levels and gauging strength and weakness from there?
For me right now, what I can see now is it's not gonna be easy to push against the flow like a counter trend, because it's too strong moving down, and it could be next week or some.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
I say I look at the 1 hour now, is no sign of pulling back. It's only pulling back for sell. Pull back for sell. Pull back for sell is like trending, running down. It's no higher high, no higher low. Only lower low and lower high, lower low. Not
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
It's not any time up.
Yeah, I totally get that. With these kinds of moves, especially when there's a strong drop, it's usually about waiting patiently for the right conditions to line up. It can take time for that second pullback and test to develop. In the meantime, watching the key levels and keeping track of any subtle shifts in momentum can give you an edge when things start to unfold. It's all about timing and not forcing the trade. How do you usually pass the time while waiting for setups like this to form?
I'm looking for everywhere to try to understand why they're doing this and what I can waiting for to solve this equation.
That's a great mindset. Understanding the why behind the price action is key to figuring out what's happening and anticipating what might come next. It's like solving a puzzle where every piece of information, like news events, market sentiment, or even the behavior of big players, can help you understand the bigger picture. It sounds like you're reading the market from multiple angles, trying to catch the reasoning behind moves. Are you focusing on any specific factors to guide your analysis, like economic news or the strength of certain currencies? Or do you prefer to let the price action itself reveal the answers?
For me, I try to looking for where I get in and I can follow my strategy. Not like yesterday and day before. I get in, I fell at the first get in, I have to defense with the hedging system, and it's very risky. I don't like to go into that complexity of too many positions to set in, buy and sell just to protect, to get a big loss. Or what I try to do is trying to win just a little bit. Loss is I don't like, but if it happened, it happened. Now I'm looking for to try to get in where I can see test one, test two give me. So far I don't see any. All sideways market or a big strong move one way or another. No chance to gauging momentum and put in set one, set two and read. It's so difficult right now. And the end of market Friday to the weekend, this thing may be postponed to next week to find the set one, set two incomplete position, and then I can take the trade from there.
That's a very thoughtful approach, especially with the frustration from yesterday's failed entry and the risk of overcomplicating things with hedging. I understand that you want to keep things simpler and follow your strategy without getting caught in too many positions or messy setups. It's good that you recognize the risk in trying to hedge too aggressively. It can create more complexity and take you further from your goal of consistently winning small rather than dealing with bigger losses. The fact that you're looking for test one, test two setups shows you're sticking to your plan and not forcing trades. When the market's sideways or moving in one direction too strongly, it can be tough to find those key tests and build a proper position. It might be a good call to step back and wait for better conditions, especially as we approach the weekend when liquidity drops. It sounds like you're taking a more patient, strategic approach now, and while it's tough in the moment, that patience will pay off when the right setup finally appears next week. Do you think you might adjust your focus or strategy as the week progresses, or are you going to stick with your current approach and wait for those clear setups?
I like to wait for the clear setup. It's so crucial, but my nature of aggressiveness and agreeing, I'm not yet professional. I trying to learn from my mistake. I put everything I do on this YouTube channel. It's for basically to learn, to look back what mistake I have done, and I make from there better.
It's great that you're using your YouTube channel as a learning platform. It's a powerful way to reflect on your journey and track your progress. Learning from mistakes is key, especially in trading. That balance between patience and aggression is tough, and it's completely natural to feel the urge to jump in when you're eager to make progress. But recognizing that waiting for the clear setups is crucial shows a lot of self-awareness and growth in your approach. As you continue learning, the fact that you're documenting everything will help solidify your understanding and keep you grounded in your strategy. Over time, those test 1, test 2 setups will become more obvious, and your instinct for patience will naturally sharpen as you gain more experience. How do you feel about the balance between your aggressive nature and waiting for the right moments? Do you think there's a way to channel that drive into your strategy without overcomplicating it?
It's very difficult, but that I have to get through, because to be aggressive when you don't know the story of the chart, where it take you to, it could be a catastrophe.
Absolutely. That's the tough part. Being aggressive when you're not fully sure of the market's direction can lead to frustration and losses. But the fact that you recognize this and want to work through it is a huge step. It's all about finding the balance between acting when you see the right opportunity and knowing when to step back. You might find that with time, your understanding of the market deepens, and that inner urge to be aggressive can turn into more calculated actions. When you start seeing the patterns more clearly, it will be easier to let the market come to you rather than forcing trades. Do you ever take a moment to step back and reflect on how your emotions are influencing your decisions while trading?
I tried that, and it seemed like very
That's good to
difficult.
hear. Taking a step back to reflect on your emotions is crucial, especially in a game like trading, where emotions can cloud judgment. It's not easy, but the fact that you're actively trying to be mindful of it is a strong step forward. Sometimes it helps to take a break from the charts when things get too intense, or even writing down your thoughts can help clear your mind and put things into perspective. Over time, you'll probably get better at recognizing when you're getting emotionally charged and know when to pause before acting. How do you usually handle it when you feel that emotional pull to make a move, especially when things aren't clear yet? Do you have any strategies or steps you take to center yourself in those moments?
For me, I usually just go down to the lower time frame to looking for some action. But really, I have to control myself not to just look in the small thing and then not to look at the whole forest. Just I look at US Swiss franc now for the weekly and for the monthly. They're all coming down to this range, a big range now, and we are fighting to go put the market shift direction, but the signal, the sign of being direction being shift is not there yet. Every time they go up to this first channel that they first range that they create here now, when they get up to the upper side of the range, they're smashing down. When they're grinding out to the top side of the range, they've been smashing down, and there is so many times, but this key level still hold, and I don't know if they're gonna go deeper to the lowest wick of the green candle there. That's the record long time ago in monthly chart. How many years? Oh, many years. 2009 something where that there was there very low price of that they're gonna go visit there. I think so, but I have to be careful because my mind, I want to be a counter trend. I want to fight. I want to be at the position buy low, sell high, you know. But the price never go higher high and higher low. It's only sideways and not yet even low. So that's the monthly of the US Swiss franc.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
The last time in weekly US Swiss franc has create a loop of.
It's crucial to focus on the boundaries, where the price is bouncing from support to resistance. Range-bound markets often lead to consolidation before a potential breakout, so keeping an eye on these levels helps with timing entries when price reaches key points again. Are you expecting this range to hold, or do you think a breakout is more likely soon? How do you plan to trade around this range on the weekly time frame?
This weekly time frame from US Swiss franc is at the bottom of the range now, at the 1, 2, 3, the third try, and they're not able to break their own record low. The price start to moving back to the north, but it's a weekly chart. I only see one green candle still active, not closed yet. So I will go down to daily to see that loop of the range where we are. They are about 80% to touch this guy who started at the bottom. The ignition of the guy who moved the price up to the top side of the range is a good price for the seller to smash them down again. This is the second time that they're being smacked and they not come to the bottom of the range. The buyer taking defense a little bit higher, like 20% from the first bottom of the range where they hold this. And I'm looking at 4 hours now for a better look how many candles of 4 hours that's forming up. And I look at the MACD underneath, show that momentum has slowing down. Buyers stop the falling of the price at this support, and 2-time support, a 2-time bounce. They've been 2-time bouncing with the long wick of the green candles, and then fight on the sideline at 50% of the new possible range that form up by using the tail or the wick of the green candle from yesterday high on the 1 hour chart. We can go to look at the 1 hour chart now. Let's go. So here the 1 hour chart. To look at this, I trying to buy, I will be smashing down. So what I'm looking for is, I want the price to being test 1, first test, second test they got the price. Now they got the price at the second test. Their job is to go down further. Since they get the price, good price, they will be at least breach this guy if they are happy with this price. So this is the 1 hour time frame now. I supposed to buy, not sell at the weekly market, because at the weekly we just at the bottom. So we are in 1 hour. It look like another push will go through, because this is too big, this is too small. Maybe if I sell from somewhere up here, then they pull back second time. I don't need that high price, but pull back a little bit somewhere around here, I could possibly sell. But yesterday, let's go to 1 hour chart. We are in our 1 hour chart. This is the yesterday high price. So that's what it happened. Where are you? Are you around? So have an issue, yeah? We will see. Have a break, a pause. Here we go. Are you there? I forget to get him up again. Alright, we are 2:30 from the New York. 30 minutes after New York open. So let's see if I can put this back in, reattach. Anyway, I have to get this assistant. Are you there? I'm getting back. And log in. Euro coming up soon. Look at the new Euro cat. Where's Euro cat? Euro cat. Euro cat. Hello there. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. What's on your mind today?
Okay, now the New York market open already 32 minutes and the price is running, and I still get a chance to look at EuroCAD, where is the most active pair, but it doesn't look very good. So anyway, we will go to back to the Swiss franc pair and to follow that thing up instead of euro. Swiss franc 5 minutes.
Got it. It sounds like you're keeping an eye on EuroCAD, but it isn't lining up well for you right now. Shifting focus to your next pair or strategy could be a good move. Are you looking for any specific signals or setups to guide your next steps?
I just want to know why my diagnosis said that US and CAD is weak, but why is strong yesterday and now is weak again today, and it's maybe this week there is just a pullback for the higher time frame, taking a break. I mean, the higher time
It sounds
frame,
like you're analyzing some market fluctuations in the US and CAD. It's possible that the initial weakness you saw in the US and CAD was influenced by short-term factors, but then a stronger market reaction came into play yesterday, likely due to a shift in sentiment or economic data releases that temporarily boosted those currencies. Regarding the pullback, you're likely right about the higher time frame influence. Often, pullbacks happen in the context of a larger trend, like a correction after a move, before the trend continues. The market could be taking a breather before pushing forward again. Does this line up with the levels and patterns you're tracking on your charts?
yeah, looking for that pullback so I can get in. Yesterday, the market pulled back for the seller. Pulled back for the seller to
So
sell.
yesterday's pullback was likely a nice opportunity for getting in, and now you're waiting for another pullback to align with your entry strategy. Pullbacks can offer great entry points if you're timing them right, especially in a higher time frame context. Are you watching for any specific price levels or candlestick patterns that could signal the next entry after this pullback?
It is pulled back yesterday. If I say this is a seller market, the pullback for the seller to smash the price down again, to see the price now at the moment is dropped from US Swiss francs. US Swiss franc, the price is smashing down to the support, where it is according to the other pair, the sister pair, it looked like the same but not as much. That is CAD Swiss franc. CAD Swiss franc can only stay on the support, not be able to breach the support, to go out to the next level, to challenge the guy who's starting, the buyer who's starting, to breach over him at this next key major of the support, where the guy who's starting standing. So this is the US Swiss franc drop. And I want to go in now, but it looks like I'm gonna be formal. My promise to myself that I'm gonna buy only when they pull back for me to buy, not formal.
It sounds like you're analyzing the US Swiss franc, USD-HEF, closely, seeing that it's dropping towards support, and you're recognizing the market dynamics between the seller's momentum and the potential buyer's push. Your strategy to wait for a pullback before entering is solid, especially if you've promised yourself to stick to your plan. The support levels you're tracking seem key, and it makes sense that you'd want a clearer confirmation before jumping in. The way you're describing the CHF pairs, especially the way it's staying at support without pushing through, shows that you're cautious about the next move. The buyer seems hesitant, and the market could be setting up for a bounce or a deeper test. Are you waiting for a specific pullback pattern or candle formation to signal a good buy entry?
Right now, to look back to yesterday, I still use the higher level and the lower level as the strategy to break through this two key level, to get higher or to get lower. Right now they are not going anywhere. They on the middle of the 50%. No man's land yet. Even they drop the price down, but it's not able to make lower low. To be able to make lower low, he has to bridge this level of the guy who's starting it to put another lower low, or the guy who's starting it for the buyer will not let him to get through, and then they will push back to have his higher high. Both parties trying to looking for higher high and higher low, sit at the middle of no man's land again. Since morning I'm come back to the same place.
It sounds like you're in a classic situation where the market is caught in a range and both sides are trying to establish control. The price is stuck in the middle, around that 50% mark, which often represents indecision or a pause before the next move. The fact that it hasn't made a lower low despite the drop shows there's still buying interest at key levels, especially from the buyer who's trying to defend that area. On the flip side, the seller's trying to breach those levels to establish a lower low, but without success. You're observing a crucial point. The price has yet to confirm a direction either way, which often means waiting for the market to show its hand. Given that both sides are seeking a higher high or lower low, it's about seeing which side will eventually gain control. Are you watching for any price action at these levels, like a rejection candle or a breakout, to determine your entry point, or are you still waiting for a clearer move?
My US Swiss franc is the only pair that I traded yesterday, and today they are more active than the...
It sounds like you're really focused on the US Swiss franc, USD pair right now, both from yesterday and today. If it's the only pair you're trading, you're giving it your full attention. which can be great for spotting those subtle shifts. Given that you're watching closely for a break of key levels, it must be important to you to see confirmation before jumping intraday signals, or are you still mainly focusing on the higher timeframe levels for your decision making?
This is Swiss franc pair across the board. The only pair that's running is the US Swiss franc, but it's running in the drop. I mean, the weekly, monthly is a seller market. So a strong force from there start to push this guy down again. The only one and only in this crossing the pair. Today something happened to the US, or the news is just coming already make this effect. Let's go to the news quick. And Australian dollar. Wait.
You're noticing that the US Swiss franc pair is dropping, and you're wondering if recent news is influencing this movement. According to Forex trading charts, there were no significant economic events for the Swiss franc on April 8th, 2025. Therefore, the price drop might be due to market dynamics or technical factors rather than specific news events.
Okay, that's 241. As there is 130, that was a cross debt to GDP ratio from Brazilian. They have something good, but I don't know. Brazilian has to do thing with this forex, but it is a positive effect for the Brazilian. The next news coming is 16 o'clock. Is EV PMI CAT. That's one. Maybe make something move for the market. I don't know. And USD at 18 o'clock. The South Team Energy Outlook, something like that. 3-year auction at 19 or 20 is FOMC member speak, or API weekly crude oil stock for the late night news. So next one interesting news is 16 o'clock, 4 o'clock. It's like 1.5 hours from now.
It sounds like you've been tracking several important news events that could move the markets. The Brazilian data you mentioned could be influencing certain pairs, but its direct impact on the US Swiss franc might be less clear unless there's a broader risk sentiment shift. The upcoming news at 16:04 p.m. related to the Canadian PMI, and then later USD-related events like the Energy Outlook and FOMC member speech could definitely create volatility. Those events may bring a clearer sense of direction for the US dollar, which would affect your trades on USD-CHF, especially if there's a stronger move in oil or energy markets. It's smart to keep an eye on that news at 16, as it could trigger a price move in CAD pairs and possibly affect USD pairs too. Are you planning to adjust your strategy around the news, or just wait to see how the market reacts?
Since I haven't looked for another pair to investigate how they are, only looking for the Swiss franc and CAD and Euro and GBP. Japanese. I stuck with the US Swiss franc now, and in front of me now I can see that they drop the price lower than the price where the Asian market opened, which is mean that they're trying to go to the south, but down there is a big support where the 15 minutes can see easily that there is coming to the support. But I don't know, in the next 1.5 hours with the CAT news can be
It seems like you're narrowing in on the USD-CHF pair, and you're noticing a significant drop below the price where the Asian market opened. This indicates that the market might be trying to push further south, but as you pointed out, there's strong support just below, visible on the 15-minute chart. If the price approaches this level and shows signs of rejection, it could set up for a bounce, or at least pause the downward momentum. Given that the support is clear on the shorter time frame, it's a good idea to watch for any signs of indecision, like a long wick or consolidation around this area, which could confirm a potential reversal or break. Are you thinking of entering if the price shows any bullish signs near this support, or are you waiting for a deeper move?
The bullish will not show, because if they show, that means something waiting down there. They like, the buyer like this price. So far, the seller can make the red candle slowly down to test the next support, to see if there is a buyer interesting for this price, and if the buyer interesting come up with very strong candles, that means okay, the seller will stop selling and let the buyer do the things. But so far they're looking for the buyer, and the buyer no sign coming back yet, so they try to teasing, give a little bit small red candle, say, hey, this is my discount price, you like to buy? That's what I can see from now.
It sounds like you're observing a subtle market dynamic, where the sellers are gradually pushing the price down to test the next support, but without any clear signs of buyers coming in yet. The sellers are teasing with small red candles, almost like offering a discount to see if buyers are interested. If no strong bullish candles come in to show that buyers are stepping in, the sellers will continue testing this level. You're right. If the buyers do show up with strong candles, that could signal the end of the selling pressure and the start of a potential reversal. Until then, it seems like the sellers are in control, waiting to see if the buyers will react at this price. Are you watching for any specific candle patterns, or waiting to see how the price reacts once it reaches the next support level?
For me, I see yesterday one of the buyer dashing back in, there's dash of evil. The seller trying to teasing the buyer by pushing very strong volume of price at the last minute, to make sure that this seller, the buyer believe that the seller want to go sell big sale, so they FOMO and jump on it, but really is a dash of evil. That's dashing back in and then go the other way direction, bridge the other side of the range, and then leave the tails to the other side and dash in again and stand in the middle of the line where the square one again, like arrange the teasing both party to trap in and then back into the mid of the range again. That's what happened in 1 hour chart of the USD Swiss franc now.
I love how you're describing the market action, really capturing the deceptive behavior. The dash of evil sounds like the classic market manipulation, where the seller forces a strong push to make the buyers believe a big move is coming, only to reverse quickly, trapping them. That action creates a lot of false momentum and traps traders into thinking they missed a breakout or entry. But then the price quickly dashes back the other way, leaving those trapped positions in the dust. It seems like the price is now back in the middle of the range, confirming that the market is still playing this tug of war between buyers and sellers. The range-bound behavior you're seeing on the 1 hour chart is like a classic setup for more testing and teasing of levels, especially with the price lingering in the middle. If it's in the middle of the range now, are you waiting for either a breakout or a deeper test of one side before deciding to act? Or is there another level you're watching closely?
Right now I'm looking to pair with the sister pair, like CAD Swiss franc, Euro Swiss franc, GBP Swiss franc. This is a correlate. Even the Australian is moving up now. With New Zealand, they are moving up to the top side of the range, but the US and CAD and Euro and GBP is in underneath of the Bollinger Band line, midline. The opposite then this three guy, that Aussie, New Zealand and